Yo, 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 welcome to Lolz Live. It is Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I am joined by my co-host, Rbx88, aka Brian Hooper, who I've been told is imbibing tonight. What are we drinking, Brian?
My local liquor store didn't have any good White Claws, so I'm drinking Bud Light Seltzer.
I haven't had those. How do those hold up?
Actually, I think I've had some before, but it tastes all right to me.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, in my ranking, I don't mind White Claws, do not like Trulies. Have you had the High Noons, the Nooners, the vodka soda?
I did, yeah.
Did you like those? I enjoyed those.
Yeah, it was all right. I think they actually have like real fruit in them though, or something like that. It tastes a little. You
don't like the real fruit?
too real.
Too real. I need my preservatives.
Manufactured, yeah.
I'm a very seasonal drinker, and so I've been drinking lots of Mexican beers, and so I've switched from Modelo Especial to Modelo Negro, to reflect the colder air.
Okay.
We got the chat going. Gorgeous Dong. What a YouTube name. We got Fantasy Sharpie, of course. Sean Michael. He needs those blessed plays. That's what we do on this show, Brian, right? We give out the blessed plays, the winners, the lock of all locks.
Blessed plays. I haven't even heard of that phrase.
I coined it today on the Swolecast.
Okay.
Because I misspoke. I meant to say play the best plays, and I said play the blessed plays. And so now we're playing the blessed plays.
Now that is getting into true tout territory, I think, when you're like bringing in religious connotations.
That's right. I mean, that was what the Patrick Laird week last year. By the end of the week, I had gotten very religious with it. The praise the Laird imagery, and by Sunday, I was praying to God that Laird did something. I'll tell you that much.
I bet. Yeah. The first week was my memory right? Like the first week of the Laird mania, he was horrible, right?
Yeah.
The second week he went off.
Exactly. Yeah. The week I pumped him up, he had like 2 points because he had like a good game against the Colts, which like brought him on the radar. And then we pumped him up and he did nothing. And then there was the flop lag week against the Eagles the next week where the Dolphins won and he scored a touchdown. And then
that week he was like 45% owned or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I like. We got Leone in the chat, feeling a little Joaquin Phoenix vibe from Brian here.
I need to cut all this off.
Well, it is interesting. Like right here, you look normal, like thickness, but your sides, I can really tell you're starting to billow out over the sides.
And my hair, I don't have a shaved head. I usually shave my head. Last time I went to that, I only went once after 4 months after COVID hit. And it's like a line and you got to wear a mask and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going back until it's normal.
I told you about my experience, right? Where I went to get an outdoor haircut and it was awful. And then I just went back to wearing a hat forever until I could go and get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
But now I feel, I guess I got hat here, but man, it's been a long road with COVID haircuts here. Brian, we have an incredible show planned for you guys tonight. You saw in here, we are going to have Rbx88 join us. He's going to hop in around 8:30. So if you were tuning in exclusively for Rbx88, you are going to have to wait. This is what we call a tease in the business. He, of course, is a 3-time Millie Maker winner. Most recently, the Mega Millions. I was talking with Rbx88 before I had even talked to Brian about maybe having him on the show again. And at the same time, Brian had sent out a tweet, just subtweeting Rbx88. And I was like, oh, I hope he's not upset about this.
If he had a Twitter account, I would have added him. I was just kidding.
Yeah, the tweet, I asked 3-time Millie Maker winner Rbx88 to record and share his process with me. I hope he doesn't mind that I'm putting this out here, but it's so unique. I think it's safe from someone stealing this process. So, yes, we are having Rbx88. The only guy who I think is running hotter than me right now, Rbx88. This guy. Oh, go ahead.
My strategy with these Rbx88 tweets, I made something. I busted his balls last time too, I think. And I'm just going to progressively make him meaner and meaner every milli he wins. And if he wins 10 in a row and I still haven't won one, I'm just going to end it live on stream.
Let's all just say this. If I win a Millie Maker, I can come on this show and you can just verbally berate me for an hour straight. And I think I'll live with it.
That might have to happen.
Yeah, we were going to talk with Rbx88. The funny thing is he was he had sent me, so he's not on Twitter, and we're friends on Instagram, so he'll message me there occasionally.
Yeah.
And it was after I had this was before my heater was starting, and I had that bad beat on, it was Jalen Richard, beating Zay Jones by 0.11. And he had a big score because of that and sent me a message that was like, shout out to Jalen Richard. And I was like, Rbx88, I fucking hate you, dude.
He messages me on RG.
He does?
Yeah, the only place I have him. And he didn't say anything, so.
We love you, Rbx88. We're excited to have you on here in a little bit, but let me check in on the chat. I know, yeah, Nick, I'm doing multiple streams tonight. It's gonna be a long night of streaming here. Okay, we got questions coming. Tonight would be a good night to answer some questions. Let's see here. Neil says, Brian, in NFL, do you focus on pace? If this week Dallas first in pace and in New York Giants is top 10 in pace, is that something we should expect? Would you be on a bottom team in pace versus a top 10 pace? So I think I'm going to try to translate this question. Okay. And he's wondering if conflicting styles of teams, how you would kind of read into that, a fast-paced team versus a slow-paced team, which style of play is going to win out. I think that's kind of what he's saying. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to read it too. If you go, Ken Palm's blog has some good formulas to translate pace. I think it's just offensive pace times defensive pace divided by league average. And there's a couple other different ways you could do it. I don't really mess with pace in my process anymore. I have in the past. So I could, that's what I would do is if you're starting from there, I would check out Ken Palm's blog. He's got a whole bunch of good stuff on there.
Yeah, my pal,
your own stuff in general.
Pat Thorman writes a weekly pace column for Establish the Run, where he looks at that stuff too, and he'll dive into those, and some of them are those situations that you mentioned, where you'll have like Baltimore playing slow. They're running, I think, the fewest amount of plays or close to it. And then you'll have Cincinnati, who's throwing banshees, and then wondering how, and he normally on those doesn't take a stand as if that's in a pace up or a pace down spot. And you can see that going either way. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to have Rbx88. Oh, go ahead.
A lot of the information is in the line.
Yeah.
A lot of the information is in the line. And, so, if a pace, and also where are you getting your pace info from? Are you making it yourself? Is Cam Newton out? Are there, 4 guys out with COVID and they, are you using a 3-game sample size for your pace info? Be careful with all that stuff. What did Mike say here I
don't know what this means.
Odds ratio for the radio. Is that, Is he just talking? Unless he's joking or something. I wonder if he's talking about something with the line.
The problem is I talk so fast and the Periscope's on a slight delay. I feel like sometimes people are referencing something we said 45 seconds ago, and I can't even remember what it was.
Possible. Not today, but maybe another time.
Yeah. All right. Jamarius Waller in the chat. Do you guys think the NFL DFS has progressed past statue QBs, i.e. QBs that don't run? And does the field realize this? I've seen this as a talking point lately of you can't play the non-Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes QBs. Where do you stand on that?
This is Waller's question here?
Yeah, in the YouTube chat.
Okay. I would say I don't think so. If Peyton Manning was in his prime right now, do you think he'd still be awesome? I think he would.
Yeah. How much is Rodgers rushing right now? He's not rushing a ton, right?
Yeah, he's having a good year. But he can still, he's getting pretty old, but he can move a little bit for a QB. They're definitely a lot more accepting of it than they were in the Randall Cunningham days. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna go back. It's just the whatever the talent, like if like talent was randomly distributed, which it probably is. It's like some seasons you're gonna have a lot of this Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson distribution just happens in talent for these few years, and then there'll be a Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck distribution for a few years, and
Yeah.
unless they change the rules, and like they've made it more friendly for pass catchers. So
Yeah. I think this is probably one of those traps, right? Where as DFS players, especially some of us hand builders, we like to eliminate decisions because it makes it easier. And so just saying like, I can't play quarterbacks who don't run, it immediately narrows the decisions I have to make. And I think that's attractive to people when they look at a slate and they're like, oh shit, there's so many puzzle pieces here. But I don't think you want to rule any guys out just because they don't have X amount of rushing average on the season, right?
yeah, like that. I mean, even the pace question, I don't even like. You know what I mean? But I understand it a lot more, and I used to use it where it's like, okay, but we can't just eliminate 75% of the field because they're in a pace even game or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's more to it than that. But you mentioned hand building and decision making. Like, isn't the point of hand building that you make all the decisions? If you don't want to make any decisions, use an optimizer.
Well, no, I actually think this is the thing. I think just people to some of my kind that maybe don't play for both teams, optimizers can feel overwhelming and they can feel intimidating. And so hand building feels easier, but then on top of that, it can also feel overwhelming because it's like, where do I start? Even me on this past Sunday, I felt like I was getting pulled in a bunch of directions. Like I'm sitting here looking at my spreadsheets and the ownership and the projections, and I'm like, I didn't feel good about where to go. The first few weeks I had like more conviction. So I can get why it can feel disorienting. But that said, just like you're saying with pace or projections, like those things are already baked into good projections, right? You don't have to double count it.
Yeah, it depends if you're using someone else's. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to use Alex's or whatever, or ETRs, then I don't see the need. Like you could use it for floor and ceiling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Theoretically, like you could use someone else's projections because they're medians or averages. And then you could like come up with like a little game theory model for actual GPPs.
I have a question from the YouTube chat. You're going to love the first part of it and you're going to hate the second part of it. Anyone still play PGA DFS? How do you figure out how much leverage to use?
I'm playing for sure. I can't fucking win at it anymore, but I still love PGA DFS. I don't hate the leverage question as much as you say I do. It's just I think people just use it as kind of like a narrative excuse where they're not really doing anything, but they think they are. Like, I'm 3x the field, ergo I have leverage, right? But it's like, no, that's not how it works. Like you need to have leverage for some, mathematical reason, right? It's not just like I went an optimizer and I have 3x this guy, I now have leverage. It's like, no, you don't. Like it could be a shitty play and you have a ton of a guy who's not a good play. You don't have leverage.
Yeah. So then Brian, what is good leverage?
Where, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you could think about it, but yeah, I would say it's like a definition would be like, when the probability to succeed in DFS, not necessarily win in PGA, but probability to succeed in DFS is greater than the cost of ownership. And it's a cost. Ownership's a cost. Even 1% owned is sucked. You'd rather have 0, right? 10's worse than 9.
Yeah. This is actually something interesting I wanted to talk to you about. I've been talking with Leone about this a little bit with the difference in ownership in different styles of contests. So, most of the ownership projections that you'll see out there, Osmo, RG, ETR, are catered towards kind of the larger field contest. And then I'll get in, say, the SPY, a single entry or a higher stakes single entry or 3 max. and the ownerships are completely different, especially on the top end. Like the high plays are really highly owned.
Mhm.
First of all, for your own projections, are your ownerships fitted for a specific type of contest?
No, but that would be the right way to do it.
And what is it just
work.
way too much work?
Way too much work. Yeah. So I focus on the big ones and then just, pick from those to put in the right one, into the fields with less players and whatever, higher buy-ins.
Yeah,
for sure. You could do it. You could definitely do it. Buy single entry, buy the total amount. I'm actually been working on that the past couple of weeks. It's a pain in the ass. And like the difference, I don't have it down yet, but like the difference is, so like I'll compare my top 15 lineups and then I'll change the size of and buy into the tournament, for these new adjustments I'm making, and then compare the top 15. And it's like pretty close. Like there'll probably be like 30% lineup difference. But like the top 5 were the same. And I need to mess with it some more and then try it on different slates to see if there's a dramatic change.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely changes things. Now, and I'm working on it now because the game's tougher. I don't think you needed to do it 2 years ago. You just make your adjustments and it's good enough, But now
you got kind of sharks like me in the waters.
What did you guys win? I was watching you and Leone and Holka's show for a little bit, but I didn't catch it all. You guys won $50K or something?
Yeah, it was the $1,500 single entry game changer, and we got first for $50K. We had a Dallas game stack. We just had the right game stack with Lamb and Amari, bringing it back with Odell, and then Leone had us on Joe Mixon as kind of our one-off, really low-owned running back play that hit. And then those were really the only things we got right. We got Mixon right in the game stack, and then we took a 0 at tight end from Troutman, but it didn't matter.
Yeah. So your guys' roll is up to like 65K now?
Yeah, just about 65K.
Are you guys gonna ball out?
So the people really wanted us in the Thunderdome, so we regged for the Thunderdome this week.
What's how many entries? 100?
No, it's only 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but see, to me, we had the 50K sweat. 40K is what takes down the Thunderdome, which again, a chance at 40K with only 25 competitors is sweet. But the luxury box, I think it's 200K up top to the luxury box. So I think that's like a funner sweat to go after, but it's probably 250 people.
Do them both. You guys are ballers.
So Brian's bankroll management is to do a sixth of our entire bankroll this weekend.
Don't do what Donnie Don't does. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend my bankroll management.
You have good bankroll management.
Not that good. Not as good as it should be. So let's see. So you're balling and everything. Were you guys surprised with Dak's ownership? I don't know what it was in your specific tournament, but in the Millie, he was like 9%.
Yeah, I think he was 11% in ours.
To me, that was surprising. I don't know if I was off because I wasn't really watching a ton of shows last week, so I don't know what the industry was thinking.
I assume you mean you thought it'd be higher, right?
I thought it'd be higher.
Yeah, no, totally.
I would have had more, and I had a decent amount. He was my number 1 QB, but I had him at like 13 or 14% or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing was like 14 or 15, and then you assume in the higher stakes single entry that he'd be like close to 20.
Yeah. I thought he'd be like even higher on after going off, and like it's the Browns, it's like, I don't know. I thought it'd be high. I'm like, shit, I can't believe I'm getting this much of him. He's going to be chalk city. And then he goes off and he's at 9% owned.
I know. And that was at least me with my hand builds last year. I just would always talk myself off of those projected. And like week 3, I had my good week just jamming that Russ double stack that ended up not being as highly owned as I would have anticipated. And then Dak this next week, quarterback's pretty spread out. It just doesn't seem like the ownership has been getting out of hand, at least so far this year.
There's something, Leone, maybe we talked about it in the ETR chat room. You could build like a sim would probably be the easiest way to do it, but where you put like a standard distribution or just a margin of error in your projections, and then when you're adjusting for ownership, it takes into account like how off your model is or how off certain guys can be. Like you can make it specific, and then that could theoretically change things too, on like how it spits out.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud here. It's probably not
Yeah.
probably not worth it to talk about it in the show, but
let's see here. We got Gorgeous Dong, whose name I will never stop saying when I relay his question. For someone max entering tournaments with entry fees around $15, what is a usual amount of loss to endure at one time? I know there is no exact answer for that, but do you want to try to field that in a way?
I would say probably okay. So max entering tournaments with entry fee of around $15. Okay, so that's 150 max. $15 is how much is that? $3,000? No, 2,700. What is it? Something like that.
It's why can't I do this? This is awful. You're the math guy.
I use a computer, man.
It's 2250.
2250. 1,200.
And would that be impacted based on how contrarian you were playing? Like for a showdown,
depends on the sport.
Yeah, like
MMA,
a showdown NFL.
MMA 400.
Yeah.
If you're good, even at least in my opinion, showdown too, maybe.
And if you're good, if you have your EV, how many slates in a, just so people understand the kind of variance and the downswings, if you are playing contrarian, how many slates in a row could you realistically lose half your roll or a third of your roll, or your entries? I mean,
Nelson had a good Nelson Adcock.
Oh yeah,
tweet on that people could check out. You could look for yourselves, but I don't know. I mean, you could go broke very easily.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's why people are giving me a hard time for being a nit. Just because I've won some money, and I've been playing the exact same volume in my showdown slates. I've upped my volume a little bit on the main slate. I've been adding a couple single entries, but Brian, we've talked this all off season. Like I'm the same type of player, and I lost for like 3 months. Granted, it was in sports I didn't know as well, but like you can have those swings.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have excellent bankroll management for sure. So like this question still $15, like you want to have like 200 grand.
I know you're right. I'm just laughing. Yeah. I mean,
and I'm not joking. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking with Brian on, it was Monday when there was the 2-game slate. And I was going to play the showdowns, and you had mentioned to me, hey, it looks like there might be some overlay in the 2-game slate. And I ended up building 150 lineups for the 2-game slate, not with my bare hands. And I was hovering, and I was watching that contest, and I was like, if there's a decent amount of overlay, and I'd click the button to enter all 150. And luckily I didn't, because it seemed like it didn't end up being huge overlay, but that would have been a moment of weakness. That would have been a very bad decision by me, but luckily I didn't do it.
I was just saying, just throw a couple in there for the shout out to Millie. This guy's entering 150 because like in the beginning of the day, it was like 63,000 entries entered, and it was like whatever the cap was, 260,000. I'm like, there's no way this is filling, but they got close. Like how many? I don't remember. We talked about it, like 20K short or something like that. So like, all right, it's better than nothing, but not like every dollar you enter is plus EV because it's so short. But like,
here's a hypothetical for you. So you roughly, you can see my account. I have $16,000 in my DraftKings account. How much overlay would there need to be in that tournament to justify me max entering it? with good bankroll management, but just it would be too juicy of a spot. If you even say I'm like break even with the field.
16 grand, to like say where you have to enter it. Like if it was like half filled
would be like, you just got to fire.
Yeah. That's like how much was it? 2,000, 2,500?
Yeah. I think it was, I think around 2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, just enter it, man.
Yeah. That's the sweet spot we're trying to find it. But that seems that probably won't happen in an NFL contest. They're just too good with sizing those.
No. If it was a $3 and they're 30,000 short, take a crack. If you're vig free, it's like not the end of the world.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up on Gorgeous Dong. He's saying, I've been max entering MLB tournaments with entry fees $1 or less. I projected my P&L if I would have played in the more expensive tourneys. I would be up $50K if I'd played in bigger tourneys, but at my lowest point, I would have also been down $34K. I can't stomach $34K loss at a time. I mean, what he just said perfectly illustrates why you have to have the roll to be able to withstand those swings at the higher stakes, right?
Yeah. And you don't know if you're good or not.
Right. Let's see. Oh, nice. We got Martin Ray here. Up because I can't sleep and finally watching you live from across the pond and instead of following the next day. Great to have you, Martin. Are you in? Let us know where you're at. Are you London, Ireland? No one really says across the pond for anything other than the United Kingdom, right?
Pretty much. I think you're weird if you say it for anything other than the United Kingdom. Would Ireland count?
He's in Yugoslavia. And he's like, just from across the pond.
he's in Afghanistan. Like, that's not really. Did I tell this story already? I might have, but I'll tell it again anyways. When I was playing poker back in the day,
I don't think I've heard this.
This guy had a screen name Hooper or whatever.
I haven't heard this.
It was like Hooper, 1, 2, 3. And I was like, hey, man, my name's Hooper too. My screen name is Brick. And I'm like, is there a lot of Hoopers in England? And you know how back in the poker, it shows like Rbx88, Chicago, or Pete Overs at Boston, right? Like it shows. So it was like something England. And I was like, is there a lot of Hoopers over there? And he goes, there's 1 million of us fuckers.
There's 1 million. Oh my God, that's good. Martin did confirm he's from Derby in Middle England, not Middle Earth, Middle England. Let's see. Jake Hari asks, this is actually, I think he's kind of half joking, but also maybe not. What sample size can you tell if you're good or not?
I've been asked that question a few times, and I would say a minimum of 20 years playing every day. It's tough, man. Let's see. I don't know. It's hard to. I would say by like the middle of the season and then start over. So like the middle of the season, maybe you'll know if you're good, and then the next year it's a new game because there's new people involved. The game changes. You might be left behind. So don't think you're good again.
Here's a question for you from me. And we talked a lot through this offseason when we started doing this show, and I've learned so much about DFS from you. But when we were playing all those sports, those were sports that I knew nothing about. League of Legends. Okay, but you had way more of a base of playing DFS.
Okay.
So my question is, I do know and follow NFL more, and that could be a detriment in that I get narratives and biases in my head more than other sports. Do you think like my familiarity with the sport and a little bit more of like the nuances of how, lineups and target shares and snaps increase based on guys being out, do you think that is contributing to my success, or that I'm just more lucky and that my skill as a DFS player is flat across various sports if my process overall is sound?
No, I think knowing something about the sport helps for sure. Like, not a ton, not as much as people probably think.
Right.
And this is all my opinion, but yeah. But I think it definitely helps. Like even building models, I always complain on the show about building a soccer model because there's so many names, and like Chicharito is Javier Hernandez and Jay Hernandez, and He's got like 17 names that I got to VLOOKUP and index match and try to figure out what all this stuff, and it's just a pain in the ass. So like, and I don't know anything about the league, like the Premier League. I don't know a ton about. I know enough to get by, but for building a model, it's a pain in the ass. So just like from the ground up, it's helpful to know. And then like when thinking about researching, like, okay, what can I try to do to, predict this sport? Well, if you don't know that like baseball has different stadium shapes and the game can go in unlimited extra innings and different foul territory and all the rules of the game, and at the bottom of the ninth they don't play, just simple stuff what we would know. If the team's up, like that can hurt you. And I think MMA, I think when I first started MMA years ago, like I didn't know that it was 5-round fights and 3-round fights.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's going to hurt you. If you don't know that there's 2 extra possible rounds in this fight, like you're going to screw yourself.
There were definitely, I was probably 10 slates in and there would still be fights where I'd be like, which one of these are 3 rounds and which one of these are 5? All right. We, real quick, our guest is in the hopper. I'm about to bring him on. However, I do want to apologize to Martin. Apparently it's not pronounced Derby. It's pronounced Darby, despite very much looking like it is pronounced Derby. I apologize, Martin. Hate to offend our international fans. All right. Without further ado, it's time to bring on a man who's running like fucking God. Rbx88. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Pretty good, dude. You still have that very ominous looking clock in your background that was
there
last time we talked.
I tried to Photoshop that into my tweet and I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Did you see Brian's tweet?
I did see it. I was laughing.
I told you knew I'd be joking.
Yeah.
Who is your mole on Twitter, RBX?
Who's my mole?
Yeah, you're not on Twitter, but you know everything that's happening on Twitter.
Oh, I just like search and stuff. Like I just searches stuff. I looked up Brian. I looked up Brian on Twitter. I was like, oh, he probably said something. There it is.
So, dude, you're coming off another Mega Millionaire win. You just had 1 bullet, right?
3. I put 3.
Oh, 3. So
yes.
Your ROI wasn't as good, huh?
So the reason why I played it was because the VIP guy for DraftKings, he emailed me and said to me, "Hey, we'll give you 20% on your losses up to 2,500." So I'm like, all right. So essentially, it's like almost like a free buy-in. So that's why I played it. Otherwise, I had no interest in playing unless he emailed me.
Look at that. Must be nice being a VIP. When am I going to get my VIP rep emailing me? I don't have one. What do I need to do to get one of these?
Start winning.
You're too good. They know you just take it all down. They don't want to. They need all the rest of us at least have a shot.
Yeah, it would be my luck to get a VIP rep in a pandemic where they can't even give me any of the cool stuff like seats to games and all that.
They always offer me that stuff, but obviously not now.
So what's life been like since, winning a 3rd Millionaire? Did you even feel anything, or you just kind of shrug your shoulders?
Like it was my dad's birthday and we were out to dinner, and so I took him out to his birthday and I told him, hey, I'm in first place right now. Like there's a good chance that I can win here. And then so he kept like quiet while I was like watching like the Buffalo game. Yeah. And we were on the ride home and I'm like, that's it, got it. And he started screaming.
Who was charging you in that Buffalo game? Who were you worried about?
Allen, Diggs, and Waller.
Okay.
Yeah, that Waller.
He was about 25 points out. So, and they were all close to the bonuses too.
So how did those? You had 3 lineups in there. I didn't see your other 2 lineups. Were they also Dak stacks?
No, there was Lamar and it was. Who else did I put in? I put in Lamar and I put in someone else. I forget. But the Dak one, I entered it in the 153 max, and it won the 153 max for 50K to first by 30 points.
You're sick, dude.
That would have won the Wildcat too, right?
I think so. Yeah. No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Because I was I would have got second.
Oh, okay.
It was 247 and Chipotle had 249.
Oh, okay. I thought you had 249.
No, I think I had 247.
So
I was gonna say I put it into the other 152, the 100K with the first, and that won that too by like 15 points or something.
Okay.
this guy sent me a screenshot, and it was I couldn't even look at it. It was so disgusting to me.
Peter on a run too. Peter's on a run in his
Are you
life, and
Peter?
he still can't look at it.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you I was on a run, and I was also trying to tell you that showdown, Zay Jones versus Jalen Richard. You were victory lapping Jalen Richard. Didn't realize that cost me 25K, and I almost blocked you on Instagram. You're lucky. I'm in a good mood.
Hey, you're having me on tonight, so you're going to send something to run good to both you guys.
Is this your favorite? Is this your favorite DFS podcast?
Yeah, you guys are fun to talk to.
I'm
The
surprised.
other guys are too serious.
Yeah.
They're too serious. I like that, like have fun, joke around, You
don't want to get grilled by Dan Bach about your win, right?
Nah.
Uh-oh. Dan's gonna be pissed at me for that one. So you like when we were talking before, in winning the Millie Maker, we know you're normally an Opto bro. I don't know, you're not on Twitter, so you don't know that there's been a war raging between the Opto bros and the hand builders. I have to assume you hand built these 3 lineups for the Mega Millionaire.
Yeah, I spent about 45 minutes in 3.
All right, you don't have to show off for how little it took you to build those lineups.
I actually had to do it Sunday morning too because of the Saints game. I wasn't sure if it was going to get canceled or not.
Yeah.
All right. Did you 150 anything that day?
Yeah, I did 150 to 20, the one FanDuel. I played like a lot of the singles. I forget what else I played, but I think that was it.
Okay.
I don't 150 like the 300. Is that 300 on there? The Wildcat 150?
It changes.
It does? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't play that.
There's only a couple guys who max that every week.
Yeah,
the Burrito
yeah.
Brothers and Alex.
Yeah,
You gonna,
no, I don't watch that.
You gonna be in the Thunderdome this week, RBX?
No. Maybe if I win this baseball tonight. I'm filling up the lobby right now, so if I do it, maybe.
All right. Who is this in my Periscope chat? D Roge Dizzy seems like your biggest hype man. Like you guys clearly are boys.
Dizzy?
Here, I'll put him up here. Do you know this guy?
It's in the comments thing.
See this on the screen? You know this guy?
Yeah, I think he's part of the stream channel that I play video games.
Look at this, dude. Did you drop this link in there for them to come and come watch?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they all know me in there because I donate to my friend's stream. So
give them a shout out. Give this stream a shout out, man.
We the people.
Eric Johnson says, "Hey RBX, do you know you're winning 50K in MLB? LOL."
Yeah. I have like 30 lineups in the top 200 or something. Like,
in your heart of hearts, RBX88.
What?
Do you think you're really fucking good at DFS, or do you think you're really fucking lucky?
Hey man, both of you guys know how much fucking luck there is in DFS, so there's a lot of luck. But yes, I am lucky, and I think I know how to construct lineups. So I mean, it's not like rocket science, right?
Maybe he is like the EM2 of GPPs, right? Like he goes with his gut, builds it all.
I mean, that's why I played Mixon. Like no one was playing him. Like I just felt that like the guy played with the stomach flu last year. I mean, I wasn't really concerned about the injury, so I was like, he has a really good matchup, so I put him in both the 4Ks.
Are you so when you say that and getting on Mixon? Are you looking at like ceiling projection versus ownership and just seeing a huge disparity? How do you get on Mixon?
Well, first off, I knew he was going to be really low with the Q tag, and I think people kind of missed him based on like all the other like matchups there were. Like the Dolphins were like a high over under. The Cowboys were. I think there was the Arizona game, but people like get so like in love with these high over unders. It was a really good spot for him against Jacksonville. Their run defense is like really not that good. So I felt like it was a good spot for him he was batting a lot too. And like, he's a really good running back and pass catcher too. Plus, full PPR on DraftKings. So I felt that he could get a lot of run, and he can bust it open for him because he was like really due.
Eric in the chat wants to know how long you've been playing for. He says your RG profile says 2019.
Yeah, I've been playing for like about 3.5 years. I guess next year will be like 4 years.
Are you still in those pot limit Omaha streets?
I've been playing. I had a big night the other night, and the Rat Hole on ACR was playing like 75 150 pot limit Omaha.
What's the Rat Hole?
It's basically like if you come in, you the most you can come in is with 10 big blinds. Brian knows what I'm talking about. You can come in with 10 big blinds. That's the max. And if you run it up, you can't like hit and run. You like until after a week. So like if you run like 1,500 up to like 50,000. You have to come back to that stack if you want to keep playing in the game.
So no short stack and run, guys.
Basically, yeah, but they can't. But the short stackers they can't leave. They have to wait a week to play again.
I mean, it's great that we have a 3-time Millie Maker winner on here, but let me answer this question from 2Ts. You think I'm drinking water out of a stemless wine glass? I'm not that classy. This is straight tequila, bud.
Yeah,
we got 4 hours of streams tonight. Rbx88, Marcus wants to know, how did you get involved in DFS? How did you become a part of the community?
Well, a friend of mine, he did. He showed me DFS, and I played poker with him, and he played DFS. A few of them did, and they told me about it, and he showed me how to play. I was like, damn, this is fucking really hard. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I was literally so clueless. I wasn't even using a optimizer or anything. I was just like hand building like 20, 30 lineups to get, like my feet wet. And then I started getting really like sucked into it. And I was like, damn, this is real. And then NBA came around and I was like, oh my God, this is like crack. So like I got like really hooked after that. And I just like started like reading more and learning on my own and, signing up on sites, to gain knowledge and find what's right, find what's wrong, trial and error. So.
Brian, now that you see Rbx88 and he's not a cat, pressing the keyboard, are you still convinced? Do you have questions to grill Rbx88 about his process?
Come on, bring it on, Brian. Nice beard, by the way.
Are you still not modeling?
Am I still not modeling?
Yeah, like modeling out projections or like
myself?
Yeah.
No, I mostly get them from Awesemo, and then I make my own adjustments. If I think it's like if it's wrong, I just like if I think it's wrong, I'll hire the projection and force him in. But I do basically like my own research, and then I use the his projections to fill in the rest of the plays that rather than the ones that I come up with, basically.
So the same thing you've been doing.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because Josh in the YouTube chat is asking something similar. If you don't make your own projections, how do you end up on the exposures you do when you mass multi-enter? Is there no math in the exposures you end up on?
No, I just go based on feel. Not really that much of a math guy. I think I said it before in the last podcast. I don't go so much by math. I go by like situational, just like poker, really.
Yeah,
and it's been working. It's been working out, obviously. So I'm just gonna keep going like that.
No.
It seems to be working out. You probably shouldn't change your process.
Yeah, a lot of poker players say that I had the most unorthodox poker style, like in Omaha, and I would win and I would do so well at it. So, that's what I do.
Ryan Hodge wants to know: do you look at the air yards by low model?
The air yards, it depends really. If like on the over unders or like the quarterbacks, if they have like a lot of air yards, I'll take some shots on them. But if I don't think it's that great of a matchup, I would stay away.
Burger Fan has a question. I think this one's for Brian. How much of an edge do you think modeling provides? I'm reluctant to change my process because I think I have very good projections. I think we've talked to Burger Fan in the chat before.
Based off of this conversation, I say it provides no edge whatsoever. Don't bother.
Let's see here. David Stewart says, when doing 150 lineups, how big do you want your spray? Whew. That's a loaded question. For example, would having too many teams too close together be bad EV? So I think he's talking about how big your player pool is across your 150.
What do you think?
I keep it somewhat tight. Like the randomness, are you saying? Like, what do you go on the random?
No, like if you have 50 players that you use, or 100 players that you'll use in your 150, or
I have between like 50 and 60 usually.
How many so are you forcing in, like, it sounds like you're using an optimizer to look at your projections, but then are you forcing in some stacks? Like you're saying, if you're in your MME, like say for like, how many DAC teams did you have in your MME run on Sunday, and how much of that was you manually setting that exposure?
I think I had between 25 and 30% DAC. I only played 4 quarterbacks. I think that's on Sunday.
Here, I got your info up.
Yeah.
You had played 80 players in your pool.
80 players. Okay.
Your highest own was Kamara at 65%.
Chalk donkey.
Jones 58, Waller 46, Cooks, Parker, Mike Davis, DJ Moore, Brown. Pretty.
I was really mad about the Cooks play. I regretted it.
Yeah.
I regretted it. I knew it was bad chalk, and I was trying to focus on the other one when I was hand making the other one. So
have you been eating your probiotics? It seems like your gut kind of missed that one on Cooks.
I got I got my superfood over here. I just got today, so I'll be good. I knew it too. I knew it too. It was like I usually do them the night before, and I knew it was bad. I just knew it was just like just a price play and just a matchup play, and I usually just go like 1/3 of the field when I see that.
Well, I was just going to ask you about that. Like Cooks and DJ Moore were two of the chalkier wide receivers. Do you have a threshold where you'll just be like, I'm out on these wide receivers when they become too chalky?
Yeah, like these cheap chalks, if they get above 20 or 25, I would just between 20 and 25, I would just say forget it. Yeah.
You'll just X them out, or you'll lower your exposure?
I'll go like, if it's like 25%, I'll go like 6% or 7%.
Yeah.
So he had Devontae Parker was 24% owned. He had him at 37%. Lockett was 22% owned. You had him at 20. Metcalf, you had half the ownership. You faded Galladay. You basically faded Beckham Jr. Even on Will Fuller, and then faded Hunter Renfrow. So,
but he didn't fade Odell in the most important lineup.
Oh, that was
because I game stacked it.
That's the same thing that happened to you with your golf too, didn't it?
Didn't you say you had it as a one-off? I remember that, right? When you won the Millie in PGA, you said one of the golfers you had as a one-off that wasn't in any of your other lineups.
Oh, you remember who it was? I don't remember.
I don't remember. You're the one that won the Millie. You don't remember this lineup? I could tell you every single one of my plays anytime I've won more than $200 Rbx88. You can't remember your Millie making winning lineup?
Wait, so you didn't enter that lineup in the Millie Maker? You're
I forgot to. I was rushing. I was literally rushing. So I was trying to get the DAC one into all the singles and all the 153 max, and I literally forgot.
But listen to this guy. C Monster 1866 took 4th, 5th, and 6th in the Millie.
No.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Well, and this is the thing. What would your lineup have finished in the Millie? Because our lineup that won ninth. Yeah, because our lineup that had the similar stack with Joe Mixon that we won the 50K in the game changer, it finished 42nd in the Millie. So you were 9th in the Millie.
Yeah.
Brian, we need like a meter over here, like one of those thermometers that says Brian's tilt level, and it just intensified.
I finished 82nd.
With a DAC stack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Brian, what did I have on Hooper? I know I had a lot of Hooper, I'm pretty sure.
Let me check.
I had like maybe 30 or 40% maybe.
You had 20%.
Okay. So I was about 5x the field.
Yeah, 10x.
10x the field.
All right, we got
You
questions
faded
coming in.
Troutman. Peter can't say the same.
Yeah, I faded him. That's a fucking brain dead play.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for RBX for coming on the show. It was great having him. Oh my goodness.
That guy had 0.
He did, but he was the stone minimum. He was. No, it was an awful play, but you clearly don't understand the thesis of the play, RBX88.
I do. Cook was out.
It would be so easier for me to condescend to anyone else but a 3-time Millie Maker champ about this one.
I mean, the guy, like, who is he anyway? He's just some like a practice squad guy.
I literally don't. I know he went to Dayton and he smashed against like non-FCS schools, whatever. But tight end is such a wasteland that it's definitely the position to punt at this year if you're going to punt that in defense.
I mean, Hooper was so cheap.
Yeah.
Waller was a good play though, and
He was.
agreed. I had a lot of them, but he didn't get in the end zone, but.
Also, I forced in more CD Lamb because Gallup went off last week. So, but I always stick with, like, if I stick with Hooper, and last week I did Hooper. I mean, not Hooper. Dak, Amari Cooper, and Gallup, and then this week I did the same thing but with CD because he's lower and cheaper. So, like, next week I'm going to be doing. Well, I guess I could say I'll be doing Dak, Cooper, and Gallup.
Write it down. Write that down, everyone.
Brian, should we build? We tried it last time with the PGA. Should we try building a showdown lineup with RBX88? Getting some. If we combine,
I won 2 already. I won 2. Or I chopped
we know. No, I'm just kidding.
I want some of that run good. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. All right. It's time to build a lineup. Have you? I think I know most of the news and notes for tomorrow. RBX, have you looked at anything for tomorrow?
No, I have not looked at anything.
All right, but that doesn't matter. All we need is your crystal ball, whatever voodoo shit you're doing. Where you're in upstate New York? Is that what it is?
No, I'm in New Jersey, man.
New Jersey. It's all the same.
You can play poker.
That's right. All right. So we got Godwin's already ruled out. Fournette is doubtful. McCoy, I believe, is not going to play. Justin Watson is out. So this leaves Ronald Jones and Keyshawn Vaughn, the rookie, in the backfield. RBX88, we will toss it to you with the first play. Who do you want in this lineup?
Wait, is Foles is starting, right?
Yeah.
Trubisky lost his job.
Yeah.
And Cohen got hurt, right?
Yeah, Cohen's out for the season. So it's Montgomery and then a bunch of scrubs behind him.
Yeah, Montgomery's a little scary because that run defense is legit on Bucks.
Yeah.
So let me see here. I think Allen Robinson is a must play.
Captain must play or utility must play?
Let's see here. Evans is questionable and Godwin's out. They say Evans is going to play?
Evans is going to play, yeah.
Yeah, Godwin's not going to play. Don't lead him.
I'm sorry. Leading the witness. I can't tamper with this man's heater.
Thank you. I need this money.
While RBX88 is looking at this, I'm going to pass this question on to Brick because I believe I know the answer to it, but I don't remember the particulars. Who won the bet between RBX and Brick from the last time he was on the show?
That's the only money I've won off of RBX88.
What was that bet? Was it just some golfer?
It was that fucking idiot. I'm sorry, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah. You're fucking allowed to curse RBX88.
Okay. Neiman.
Joaquin Neiman.
That airhead. Yeah. Whatever.
The 20-year-old.
Well, see, the thing is in the showdowns, it's usually always like a tight end or a good tight end, a wide receiver or a running back. And these quarterbacks I'm not putting up top, and kickers putting up top is like really stupid to do. So I would I'm feeling Allen Robinson up in captain.
All right. We can mess with that.
At
Brian, this lineup tells a story.
I forfeit my pick Back to RBX88. Come on.
What if we just forfeit all of our picks and make RBX build it, and then we get a third of the profit? Yes, that's what we're doing. I forfeit my pick. It's back to RBX88.
Okay.
All right.
So Robinson,
He loves this.
If he does well, I would put in Foles.
That's a nice correlation.
All
I can
right.
buy. Brian, are you going to take your pick?
Going to play the whole game. I'm not changing any of this. This is the.
I think we should
hang
leave
on RBX88. Just for formality's sake, Brian, it is your pick.
Forfeit.
It is now my pick. I also forfeit. Back to you, RBX.
Okay. So wait. So is Scotty Murray playing or
he's questionable? Unless we can put him in, but you have to be in charge of messaging me about this late swap tomorrow if we need to.
All right. Can you click Anthony Miller real quick and go to his game log?
This is how the sausage gets made?
God,
It's got the Roto World update. A Roto Wire.
All right, X him out. I'll think about it. So the tight ends that are playing for
Jimmy Gray. For Tampa Bay, you got Gronk and Brait.
And Brait. What about OJ Howard? He's out?
Out for the season.
Oh, poor guy.
Maybe I shouldn't have forfeited my pick.
Let me think here for a sec.
See through the matrix. See through the matrix.
It's a Sunday, 11:30 Eastern time. You're about to put that lineup in. Wait, open up the.
I'd put in the kicker for Tampa Bay.
Okay, right. I like where this says the kicker for Tampa Bay. Suck up. Done. Brian, it is back to you. It's your pick.
I will pass.
I would really like to pick Keyshawn Vaughn, but I will also pass. RBX88 is your turn.
All right, let's go with. I'm not playing Brady. Fuck him.
Man, this level.
This is good.
Of strategy. This is why. This is why I optimize.
Let's go. So is Ronald Jones the cow back? Right? Is Fournette in or no?
So Ronald Jones is going to get the majority of the carries. Keyshawn Vaughn came in last week, caught a few balls, caught that touchdown. He's going to be their pass catching back. I think it's going to be a pretty even split with Ronald Jones getting early. Now. Who?
How much is he?
Keyshawn Vaughn or Ronald Jones?
Vaughn.
Vaughn is 1,000. And in my humble opinion, it is not my pick. I forfeited it. In my humble opinion, he's a smash play. But that's I don't want to tamper with this.
Can you see me targets with that?
I already have.
Let's see. So do you think that was the outliner or no?
This was his first game active on the season.
So if they like what they saw, they might give him a little more run. Let's add him.
Okay. I think there's also a couple other RBs out too, right?
Yeah, McCoy is out, and Fournette is doubtful.
And I think they even like some fourth stringer guy too.
All right, Brian, it is your pick.
I'll pass.
I will also pass. RBX, it's back to you.
I really wish that we would know what the quarterbacks are.
No, we do.
The quarterback, the wide receivers.
I can tell you who the wide receiver. Well, I guess Scotty Miller.
Who's in though? Oh, you said Evans is in?
Evans is going to be in. He's going to play.
I would add in Evans.
Yeah. That leaves us with 9,500. I mean, we can do anything other than Tom Brady. So the people in the chat. So and again, I don't want to tamper. Hang on, real quick, Brian. It is your pick.
I'll pass on this one.
I will also pass. Okay, it is your pick again, RBX.
I like how people in the chat are telling RBX how to pick.
I mean, come on, guys. Everyone in the chat press forfeit. You've all forfeited your picks.
So let's go. Can you click on Jimmy Graham?
Yeah.
Goes to game log. Let me see. I'm gonna. Can you click game log?
I got you. He's been crushing, man. He's a touchdown or bust guy.
And it's him or Anthony Miller.
Hang on, RBX. Do you see this pattern? Week 1 touchdown, not week 2. Week 3,
Yes.
2 touchdowns.
Okay, Jimmy Graham, baby, let's go.
Damn
I
it.
love that. I love that trend.
This feels like a Peter influence lineup, which I'm not happy about. Although he's been running pretty hot too. Maybe their powers combined.
Yeah, leave 2,700 on the table.
Okay, how much is first? How much is first? 400K.
400,000.
Okay. All
Dude,
right.
if this wins.
Here we go. Ryan Colucci says, I have to enter this because if I don't and he built me the winner for free, I would have to quit DFS. We're gonna be duped exclusively with Lolz listeners.
This is not getting duped. There's no way.
Oh, it's getting duped.
Now that
Now
they know you're
yeah.
picking it, people are gonna copy us.
All right,
Maybe we should put in a possible substitution.
See, with these showdowns, okay, I'll tell you the strategy. It's very simple. Okay?
and then we gotta go.
Okay, leave your brain at the doorstep. That's it. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
That's it, and you'll win.
Wow. RBX, man, it's always great talking to you. Last time we asked what you had bought with all your winnings. What's going to be the newest splurge?
I actually just bought a 1955 Chevy Bel Air hardtop.
Wow,
That's
Cool.
a very cool car.
dude, you're a car head, man.
I know. I am.
Well, enjoy.
How we only got a couple minutes left, I know, Peter, but how are you feeling about your big Trump bet? Because you said you put a bunch of money on Trump,
I got
right?
50,000 on Trump.
50,000, and I think his odds have been going down on Penny.
Yeah, I got a good price. I got a plus 150.
Okay, plus 150. All
Yeah,
right.
and then
Where'd you
plus
get it at?
120. ACR, America's Card Room.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the debate's actually is at 9:00. The vice president's debate.
Oh yeah.
That's
So-
everyone was trying to squeeze in the Lolz stream before they went and watched Kamala Harris and Pence duke it out.
Are you gonna put any more on if he gets like plus 170?
I was thinking about it because it's a really good price.
Mhm.
I have like my own kind of reasons why that I think he's still going to win. I'm not trying to be biased, but I still think he's still going to win. But no, I have plenty on it.
Are you worried about him dying from an infectious disease that have killed over 200,000 people in the country?
He's good now. He's good to go.
He's good, yeah. No, I definitely trust him. Whatever they're saying about his health, I'm sure he's fine.
Everything he does is for a reason. He's a very good chess player.
Getting COVID to own the libs is the ultimate chess move from the grandmaster himself. Donald Trump, Rbx88. Anything you'd like to plug? Your RG profile, your Instagram, your new car collection that is spilling out of your garage?
I've been working on my house, so I have a 1-car garage there, so I'm gonna have to try and see if I can build maybe another garage or something for all
There
my
you go.
toys. But yeah, you can leave my Instagram. It's GD_MERS88. That is
There
my
you go.
Instagram.
He's a great follow on Instagram. Lots of sensual photos of him in bathtubs, in the yard, in short shorts. It's a great follow. I just
Yeah.
sold it for you.
And my bedroom in my house, I'm putting French doors so I can open up like this.
Brian, any final words for our guest?
Brian, we gotta talk. We gotta talk sometime, man. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I'm available. Just send me a message.
All right, sounds good.
Fantasy Sharpie says
I can
not enough.
maybe rub on some of my magic on Brian.
He's
He's due to win a milli.
Yeah. How much would you charge Brian as an hourly coaching rate?
We just talk strategy. We don't need to charge him. I'm good on that. I'm taking the guy's money.
You're such a sweetheart. All right, guys. If you haven't hit the subscribe button on Brian's channel, smash that now. Hit the like button. We'll get the audio up in the podcast version. You can search for Lolz podcast on your podcast app of choice and download it there. We will be back as usual every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to our guest, Rbx88, the only man running hotter than me on this planet, for coming on. You're the man. This has been Lolz. We'll see you guys next time.